gotta say, I love Shanghai. It's one of the best senior tourist spots I think you can go on. And China is also really good for your health. And you ask why? Well, you do a lot of walking. There's a lot of brief climbs upstairs that get your heart rate up. And much of the food is unprocessed with lots of veggies. And then you got stuff in there like the gingers and garlics, um, Chinese five spice, all the stuff that makes food very good for you.
That's the
And so Shanghai, this city can be easily visited for a month if you want to see all of the ancient water towns, go shopping, see parks, and all the other historical points of interest. There's just so many. And because it's a modern city, the hotels are comfortable, especially for American tourists. And the city is very famous for a near zero crime rate. But they still have a lot of unarmed police around, and they're just there to ensure no crime occurs, and they're there to service and help people. And they do a lot of traffic guiding, so you just feel all around safe. So at no one time did I feel like I'd have to worry about gypsies or thieves and pickpockets. And this feeling of being in a very safe place is a huge, huge plus, especially for a city with 28 million people. And from what I understand, the rest of China and these large cities are the same way. Very, very safe, very tourist friendly. So there's some things like all other trips, right? Before you visit, you gotta be prepared to do a lot of walking. We average maybe around 20,000 steps a day. That's a lot of walking. And so you just make sure you bring two pairs of broken in walking shoes and get in shape. If you can, start 6 months to a year before and get skinny, lose your weight, get healthy, try to work yourself into to not being on meds anymore. Um, I've been suggested that I find a diet that's high protein and high veggies, high fiber, that gets me down to 1,900 calories per day. And then I do my 20,000 steps. You gotta go to the gym and do your weightlifting. Weightlifting is key. You don't want sarcopenia to catch up with you. So watch a lot of YouTubes on health, but make sure that you watch the YouTubes that are created by actual nutritional doctors. I found that these doctors who claim to be ex-heart surgeons, these guys who are ex-chiropractors, nope. I've read too many books by Dean Hornish and John McDougall, and seen how successful their diets are for me. That I know that I've cut through the bullshit. I know what actually is good for you, but you gotta listen. Watch your body. Just make sure that you're losing the weight. Make sure that you're doing weightlifting. Weightlifting, so important. Get your muscles up. Get your muscles strong.
That's
Yeah,
East
you can do it.
Nanjing Road.
It's something that you can do
Pretty
for the rest of your
spectacular
life.
here.
And do what you can to get off the meds. The last thing you want to do is go on a long trip and have to worry about your damn medicine. That sucks. And I have to admit, I'm still working on it. I got a long ways to go. And if you want to get a personal trainer that knows what he's talking about, has a high success rate, you can just leave me a comment
OK，这是
or
上海外滩
go see what is it? Well,
东方明珠。
can go see.
来，我们看一下
I'll
哦，
just send you a link to somebody that I know that will
漂
do you
亮
right.
漂亮漂亮。
So Shanghai is a little bit on the tropical side. So you dress like you're going to the gym. That makes walking more comfortable. Get a little cold, just make sure that you take a jacket with you or a down vest. Taking an umbrella in case it starts to rain. I prefer a light rain jacket and a cap rather than an umbrella. It's just more convenient. I just move freely, and then I also have a problem with bumping my umbrella into people's heads. So I'm just all around better with a light rain jacket and cap if it happens to rain. And I always take a super light pair of pants, long pants too, if I'm wearing short pants. And I'll put those on if it gets a little too cold and I need to get my legs warm. So like always, I watch a ton of travel videos on YouTube. I'm not going to recommend you any one particular YouTube to watch. You got to watch a whole bunch of them. Take your notes, study your destination. You got to be real familiar with your destinations. And I use trip.com to plan my walking routes. As you know, Google Maps doesn't work over there in China. I don't think anything on Google works over in China. There's some other apps that don't work in China. So trip.com is a Chinese company. They work great, and they're very familiar. They're very similar to Google Maps. So you can plan a really great route. You can book stuff on there. I also downloaded Klook. You can use Klook for tickets and other venues. But I think the most important app that you need to download is Alipay. And so Alipay is the way that most people in China pay the merchants. The other one is WeChat. So you want to download WeChat and use WeChat as a backup. So you're gonna have Trip.com, Klook, Alipay, and make sure that WeChat works in case you got to use it for talking. Giving your travel buddy a call. WeChat works really well that way. And then the other one is Metro Man for the Shanghai metro system. You just tell it where you want to go, and it'll tell you which entrance or exit to the subway system is the same thing. So you go to one of the subway entrances or exits, and that'll lead you down to whatever stop you want to go to. So use Metro Man. That's a good one to use for making sure that you don't get too lost. And then also, of course, I think you're going to have to download Didi. So they don't use Lyft or any other type of ride-share system there except for Didi. They do have taxis, but I've had very bad experience with taxis over there. So don't do the taxi. I think taxis might be the only really bad part about being in China. You want to do Didi. And Didi's so similar to Uber that you'll have a very short learning curve on that. And then, and I can't emphasize more. Watch a lot of videos on Alipay. Learn how to use Alipay. Be an expert with Alipay. Get set up with Alipay before you get there. And then, of course, when you get to if you don't already have a international SIM chip, when you get into the airport, first thing you want to do is head over to the eSIM or SIM chip store and get set up. You gotta have data. You can't live in China. You can't do nothing in China without a good SIM chip. The other thing you're gonna have to be concerned about too is your battery. If you need a backup battery, like a 10,000 milliamp or 5,000 milliamp hour battery, you have to make sure that it is labeled with the 3 C's. China doesn't allow you to get on an airplane and enter China with a battery that's not 3C. You can pick up one of those at just about any local store in China if you don't already have one. Not expensive.
You're a lot prettier than
$20 and you can get a decent
taking
one.
their fancy shots like they're.
Make sure that you don't run out of battery.
He's so ugly.
While you're there, using a lot of apps like Trip.com for the maps, and GPS.
Look at these
You're going to be
seats
using
here.
a lot of Alipay for buying stuff, so your battery.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Your cell phone could die out fairly quickly. It's not a big major concern. You may run out. I didn't run out of battery the whole time I was there. I didn't need a backup, but my wife did. But she did most of the purchasing, like a lot of ladies do. They like to do their shopping and purchase gifts and clothes for themselves. And so they do a lot of, they do a lot of. They put a lot of use into Alipay, and that can be pretty wearing on the battery. But that's not a concern.
Huh?
They got those batteries all
Oh,
over
you
the
feel
place.
mosquitoes?
Now, as far as food's concerned, you're
So
not going
this
to go to
is going from the
Shanghai
Bund
or anywhere in China
back
or
to
really
Nanjing
anywhere in
Road
Asia.
after
You don't go
11
there to go
o'clock.
eat stuff
Because
like
at
they
11
serve in
o'clock,
Panda Express,
They
okay?
turn off all the lights
But still,
on the Pudong side,
most of China,
so
especially
Shanghai ain't lit
Shanghai,
up anymore.
is fine for the American palate.
But it was cool while it
Study
lasted.
up on the foods and the food videos, and if you just don't want to, if you're missing any kind of a Western food, hey, you can go to any KFC and McDonald's. They got them all over the place. Coffee's not a problem. Coffee in Shanghai is the big, huge plus. It's amazing. They got lots of great coffee. You will never, ever have to worry about getting good coffee in Shanghai. The worst coffee in Shanghai is better than most of the coffee shops in the U.S., if not every one. So don't worry about coffee. And the other thing too, in worst case, you can always go to the 7-Eleven or Watson Family Mart, pick up a sandwich, water, Coke, then again coffee. And they got some pretty excellent to-go dishes there. And of course, like a lot of places in Asia that are mostly of Chinese background, they're gonna have tea eggs. Tea eggs are amazing. Tea eggs will really satisfy you. They're inexpensive, they're fabulous, and I just cannot tell you how excellent they
Nanjing
are.
Road's right there.
Tea eggs. They're usually in a little cauldron of black liquid, which is the tea, and these eggs are boiling up, ready to go. You just pick a couple of them out of the little cauldron and pay for them. They're usually, I don't know, maybe around 50 cents, maybe $1 each, but they're well worth it. You have 2 a day, and hey, you're set for your protein levels for the day, and especially your satisfaction. So
Turn left.
for first couple
Go
of
this way.
days, as senior travelers, we're kind of slow. So we stayed in Shanghai, which which is called the Pudong side. Pudong side is kind of the most modern part of Shanghai. So we looked around the Pudong area and then after that, visited the Bund and the East Nanjing Road area. So while you're on the Pudong side, there's these huge shopping malls there. Anything you may have forgotten to bring with you that you realize you need, you can go to the shopping mall there and pick up whatever things you feel that you need. And stuff in there is not expensive. We had to pick up some extra luggage because we bought so many gifts. We had to get another luggage. And we didn't pay much for the extra luggage. It was like $18, and it did the job. And then while you're on the Pudong side, you get to get familiar with how things work in China, and you start to understand the metro, and then how to use your payment apps. And when you get to the Bund is somehow captivating. It overlooks the old and the new city. It overlooks a river. It's captivating. And there's a lot of people there walking around, taking pictures, and a lot of girls, trying to be a supermodel and take pictures. And it's fun to watch. And so the first couple of days, we'd spend most of the day around the East Nanjing area, eating, trying out the new foods. You go off into these little alleyways and try some local foods. I really fell in love with a thing called the Xiaobing. It's like a little, maybe a scone. I mean, maybe it's not exactly a scone, but I think it's really, it can be, you can think of it as the Chinese scone, and it's so delicious, especially the ones that had sugar cane in the middle, the sugar from the sugar cane. Absolutely delicious. And of course, tea eggs. And
我们现在从
they got lots of noodle dishes, and I
走到
just really love the dumplings.
这很多漂亮
Dumplings are amazing. Dumplings have a lot of flavor, and there's a whole ton of different dumplings. And you can spend days and months till you're sick to death of dumplings, eating different dumplings.
就是
I guarantee you, when it comes to dumplings, you will not be disappointed. Shanghai is amazing when it comes to dumplings, of all things. And then, so we ended every night
这就是
walking around on the Pudong side. I'm sorry,
等一下
on
我
the
们回
Bund.
头要直接坐去
The lights on the Pudong side turn off at 10 o'clock. That kind of gives you an idea that, okay, it's time to head on back. So you get down to the East Nanjing Road area again, and you're walking around, and you can go get yourself a DD if you're really tired. The DD or Uber
我们
service
住的
that they
hotel
have
香格里拉就在
in
右手
Shanghai
边
is super
非常不错的
inexpensive.
hotel
You hardly pay anything to get a ride in a ride share like DD in Shanghai. I think a lot of people even skip the metro part and just ride DD all the time because it's that convenient, that inexpensive, and it is faster. So you gotta go visit Shanghai. Shanghai will be one of your favorite places to visit, and you'll want to go back in many times. I can't wait to go back. I got a lot of other things that I did not see, and I'll be doing other videos on the other parts of Shanghai that we went to go see. And you just gotta be aware of one thing. When you're in Shanghai, Shanghai is a busy, packed street area. There's 28 million people there, and a lot of them are just they're not what do you call personal space friendly. You'll get a lot of people bumping into you and all that. You don't need to do it on purpose.
麦当劳。
That's just the way it is. And you just gotta take into mind, hey, you got a different culture, different set of values, different set of manners. Okay, don't get grossed out by some things that you may see. That's just, it's okay there. And what they might find is bad manners to them is not so bad for us. So keep an open mind when it comes to people. And just remember, they're all super friendly. They're all really, really friendly, nice people. Okay? So, look forward. I hope you guys continue and watch my other videos on my trip to Shanghai. See you then.